Architecture and music share abstract qualities without having direct communication between them occupy a place and time. Indian classical music represents the rich cultural heritage of the country, which is a well established traditional art form dated back from Vedic period. My name is Sanjeevani Pendse. I am a classical music performer and assistant professor at BN College of Architecture, University of Pune, India. My colleague Vasudha Gokhale, who is a critic of Indian classical music and head BNC Research Center. I have completed doctoral research on interrelationship of architecture and Indian classical music recently. The research draws upon my 25 years experience as a musician, architect and academician teaching architectural design to undergraduate students. Indian classical music and architecture are closely related in context of the aesthetic sensitivity, form and structure as well as their expression. Stemming from the characteristic temporal structures of ragas, I am motivated to explore possibility of cross-modal correlation between music and architecture and its application in architectural design. This research is an effort to demonstrate how through cross-modal abstraction the characteristics of one modality, that is Indian classical music, could be applied to another modality, architecture. In the presentation, I will be talking on relationship of music and architecture, intrinsic qualities of Indian classical music, how these intrinsic qualities have been applied in design. Architecture is multifaceted discipline where the strong link between music and architecture is uncontested. In 10 books on architecture, the Roman architect Vitruvius states, "Let him be educated, skillful with the pencil, instructed in geometry, know much history, have followed the philosophers with attention, understand music, have some knowledge of medicine, know the opinions of the jurists and be acquainted with astronomy and the theory of the heavens." Architecture is characterized by 3 essential qualities as suggested by Vitruvius, that is firmitas, utilitas, venustas, which can be referred as firmness, use and beauty. The venustas or beauty is concerned with the artistic aspect of architecture, and from the onset of the history of architectural theory, architecture has been regarded as a type of art. The comparison with the quote attributed to Johann Wolfgang von Goethe that music is liquid architecture, architecture is frozen music, has been used by many as the basis for comparison between the domains. For many centuries, the formation processes in music and architecture were influenced by Pythagorean ideas on harmony and proportion. In the Re Edifactoria, Alberti discusses the correlation between music and architecture. The numbers by means of which the agreement of sound affects our ears with delight are the very same which please our ears and our minds. Translation of musical principles into architecture continued in the 20th century. Cross-fertilization was encouraged by new developments in media and technology. Le Corbusier and the composer Ioannis Xenakis collaborated on the Philips Pavilion at the 1958 Brussels World Fair. The design of the pavilion referred to the principles and techniques of serial music, and the interior incorporated a multimedia show of lights, projected images and specially composed music. The Monastery La Tourette is designed by Le Corbusier with combinational organization of horizontally and vertically melodic intervals. He designed the rhythmical facade. Relation or association between music and architecture in Indian context is visible in many contexts. The features of both musical systems show close correspondence with the structural concepts and obvious aspects of the ancient sacred and historical buildings existing in their respective areas of origin. The conspicuous similarity between the characteristics of both music systems and the northern and southern Indian architectural style is seen in the temple superstructure. Musical pillars in Mahamandapam, Vithala temple at Hampi, the World Heritage Site, are made of granite stones with audible sound when struck with a finger similar to sound produced by various musical instruments. Suchindran temple, Kanyakumari, Meenakshi Temple, Madurai, and Nellapur Temple, Tamil Nadu are some other examples where presence of musical pillars is noted. Indian classical music, referred as Shastriya Sangeet, the Sanskrit word for music is Sangita, which represents song, Gita, instrument, Vadya, and dance, Nritya, characterized by a rich stylized structure containing many musical forms. Raga is a main musical form which is pleasing to listen because of its adornment and beautification by notes, swara, and order of movement, varna. Indian theory of aesthetics hovers around theory of rasa and gives importance to emotional aspects of music. It has been stated that music is capable to transmit, induce or stimulate an emotional state in performer as well as in the contemplators who are referred as rasikas in Sanskrit language. Raga is a melody with a set of notes having varying intervals. It is the soul of music and also colors the mind. Different emotions are expressed with the help of raga as a medium. It has the power to change the mind. Raga in NCM has a well-defined structure which represent a particular mood as well as they have relevance with the time of the day. For example, Rag Bhimpalasa, an evening raga where the mood is serene and dignified, which expresses longing of a lover. Raga Todi is a morning raga where the mood is serene and meditative and sense of dawn. Each note swara has a defined color, Sare, Gama, Pada, Nisa. It has also got a tala, rhythm. There is ornamentation in the form of murki, meend and tan. Digital format offers a range of possibilities to translate music into architectural design in various ways. Parametric software Rhino help to generate virtual forms where geometry created based on particular raga parameters is used as an input. The spatial intervals between the notes in different ragas delivering different emotional experience are modeled with visualization features Rhino 3D, which is a freeze-form surface modeler that uses the modeling by curves technique. Now, I will demonstrate how a musical pattern can be converted into three-dimensional form with Raga Jaunpuri as a case. This is a graphical representation of a part music composition referred as Antara. The first option to get 3D form is command sweep 1 rebuild. The graph is rotated to 90 degrees and sweep action is performed at 360 degrees giving the form. Rebuild option is used which is embedded in sweep command to create smoothness that is available only in Rhino software. If no smoothness is required, we can use sweep 1 command. The graph is rotated to 90 degrees and sweep action is performed at 360 degrees giving the form, which is not with smoothened form. You can see the formations happening in the video which is being played. Rail revolve with rebuild, where with revolution a circular form is obtained. Rebuild command is used to smoothen the graph without losing its basic character, after which the rail revolve command is used. The graph which is lying in xy plane is subjected to rail revolve command. You can see in the video how the form is obtained. The smoothening is done. The graph is lying on xy plane and now it is being subjected to rail revolve command giving the form. A built mask can be obtained by Loft command. For the Loft command, the bar graph is used. The bar graph is first rotated, and now by using Loft command, a 3-dimensional mass can be obtained. You can see in the video. It can be turned and observed. Entire mass also can be, it can be filled, and the entire mass also can be obtained by using the Loft command. Music can be an inspiration for conceptualizing architectural design. It can be used as metaphor. Rhythm or tala can help in form finding. Color can be assigned to each note. I now present some of the design endeavors representing abstraction of music to architectural design by undergraduate students of architecture with use of AutoCAD, SketchUp and Rhino software. This is an attempt to celebrate the flow, dimension and dynamics of Indian classical music. The notation of musical composition has been translated into graphical format using SketchUp 3D tool. Inputs were pitch, interval between two notes, duration and color assigned to a particular note. The output was a table representing the composition in a raga. Listening to music is very relaxing and it changes your mood and refreshes oneself. This is an attempt to transfer melody into a design pattern. Sound travels in the form of waves, the flow which are taken as an inspiration for design of a coffee table. A melody is graphically represented with sound wave patterns with the frequency on z axis and time on x axis. The output is further given 3-dimensional form using SketchUp 3D tool. Rhythm can inspire a designer for the design endeavors. This design is an abstraction of the pattern of rhythm referred as tal in Hindustani classical music. It is based on ek tal having 12 beats in a defined pattern. There are total 12 numbers of beats in ek tal. The beats are represented by the number of seating spaces allotted in the bench with the use of 3D SketchUp tool. The circle is divided in 12 parts representing the beat of the tala, which were divided into 4 parts, each to represent the pause between the two beats. The pauses between the beats act as the seating, each of which is 150 mm higher than the previous one. This pattern is repeated in each quadrant of one beat, giving the bench a dynamic character similar to ek tal. Graphical annotation of music can be imitated into drawings through software Rhino. The form of the canopy was inspired from the raga of Indian classical music. The frequencies of the notes of raga Yaman are represented graphically. Based on the profile of the graph, 2-dimensional drawing has been prepared on AutoCAD software, which is further given 3-dimensional form with Rhino. The design represented the characteristic feature of raga Yaman. This design represents temporal and seasonal aspects of Indian classical music. Musical pots arranged like a clock depicting the prahara, that is time in Indian classical music, and also in each prahara the interior design is given the background of seasons. So, to conclude, various software like SketchUp, Rhino provides an abstract representation of the rich and diverse structure of various stylistic musical forms and elements of Indian classical music, which could be used for spatial configurations in architectural design. I contend that such a cross-modal perspective with the use of parametric digital tools inspires students to decode the intrinsic qualities of Indian classical music to use in architectural design, enhancing their design skills. Thank you. My team, my students Prachi Surana, Ruchi Lokhande, Ananya Zogalekar, and Professor Umesh Sawan and Smita Ogle.